Hey, girl.
Hey, girl.
How are you?
I'm so good. How are you?
Yeah.
God, I can really just the intro music makes me feel like you and I should have our own talk show in a studio with just two chairs and an energy.
Yep. Exactly. Very, very morning local news. That's what we need. And,
Yeah.
And have people on. I always think you've done just for folks watching who are like, Kyle looks so much better. You're right. But that's not Kyle. That is our old friend, Renee Gauthier, who we know from the Chicago scene, who's very funny. If you don't know her, you need to look her up because she's great. Thank you for filling in for Kyle,
Absolutely.
Renee. I really appreciate it. But yes, back to the subject at hand.
Yeah.
You haven't done you're a hilarious comedian. Have you done a lot of road or some road or?
I've done enough.
Yes. So you're familiar with the local morning TV shows in the morning, the low rent version of the Today Show that every town has. Yeah. And so you go there. You and I need to do something like that where we have comedians on and ask them just questions that throw them for a loop like they always do, where they'll find something you've done and be like, well, we all know her from lip sync dance. It's a show about lip syncing, like something and you're like, you have to explain what it is and play along that they've ever heard of it.
Yeah.
That's the best. Worst.
Yeah, I've only done radio versions of that on the road when I was on the road with female comedians on a tour called Pumps and Punchlines.
Yes.
To keep us right where we belong. You know what I mean?
Pumps. Did you have to wear pumps?
I wore a heeled boot. They were not happy with it.
Really?
Yeah. Erin Foley was on this tour with me, and she's the best. And Aaron Jackson, and then we would have a swing person, which would be like Marina Franklin or Rachel Feinstein.
All killers.
All great, really fun. But the only person who wore heels, it was Aaron and I were wearing sneakers and boots, and everyone else is in full heels. And I'm like, God bless you.
Yes.
And they were like, did you read your contract? I was like, I can't.
Erin Foley is like, did you read the fact that I'm a guy? And she's just like, what? I mean, I'm not calling her a guy, saying something she would basically say.
Yeah. She's the best. Yeah. Well, we got, I remember we did a Valentine's show and we all got gifted. We had to do this radio thing and then we all got gifted from the local sex shop a full basket of sex toys. And nothing is sadder on Valentine's Day to check into your hotel and have to carry a basket of sex toys they gave you up into your room with a suitcase.
Oh, yeah. And you're like, I don't really want to throw this away because I don't want someone to find. I don't know. It just seems weird.
There was a lot in there. Let's just say that.
Why not just one really good one? Like a rabbit or something. Last I heard, that's the good one. I don't know anymore. But
yeah. Look, it priced out as a $500 basket.
Wow.
We priced it out.
God bless. Yeah, that'd be like, I remember there was some, I was going to make the joke, but I think there was one comedy festival that gave dudes fleshlights, I think, which is just like, no.
Fleshlights are so creepy.
That's a false equivalency, guys. There's no guy that's just like, good. My old one's worn out. Thanks.
Finally, some plastic to fuck. Sorry.
No, please. I needed that shot to the gut. I feel like I'm hiding from my extended family. I'm sure people are wondering, what the fuck, where are you? Did your wife kick you out? I'm with my in-laws. I drove 3,000 miles with my wife and kid to my in-laws' house to just be in Massachusetts for a month. We were going to do it in November and the fires kind of pushed the schedule forward. So I'm basically just out in the yard, with a beer like an asshole, backyard. But I just had to call attention to that. So,
well, it reminds me of, do you know AM sports radio? Especially in Chicago, My brother used to always listen to it when he would pick me up from work when we were in high school.
Of course.
And there's always a guy who snuck the phone call. I was like, my wife will kill me if she hears I call.
Oh, absolutely.
That's what you seem like right now.
I look like that. I definitely look like that. Just like either that or like I'm positive there's neighbors that are looking at me. They're just like, his wife is sick of his drinking and he's calling his one friend who is telling him what a bitch she is, you know?
Yes.
But since I am in Massachusetts, they're all like, yeah, guy, I understand. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you got to go out back. Got to go out back and hide your habits, you know. Right?
People are going to start honking for you as they drive by.
Yelling, go Pats. Yeah, for sure. Have you gotten back to Illinois at all?
I went back for my birthday, September 3rd to the 10th, and I'm actually going back to Chicago for a month and a half in November.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing.
I'm excited about it. I'm just like, I already have booked so many dates. Like it's so easy, you know, when you go home, it's like, oh, they're like, of course, here's 17 dates at the Laugh Factory. And I'm like, wait, what? I thought, don't I have to qualify why you should be putting me on this? That's
so funny.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Because when you said like 17 dates, I was thinking like, you know, what, Beat Kitchen, and I don't even know the rooms anymore, but like you were like Laugh at like an actual club. Good for you. They're just like, we're going to kick out whoever was on that weekend. I don't care.
It was the nicest email. Like obviously sometimes you have managers and stuff do it, but like sometimes when you just know the book, you're just like, hey, I don't know if you remember me, but I would love to do a show. And he goes, here's all these dates. And I thought for sure I was going to be like, have to pick a couple. And I go, right. Oh, I guess I'll take this. And he goes, no, I'm giving those all to you. I was like, oh, okay.
That's amazing.
I was like, thank you.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, sometimes, you know, every once in a while, like, especially if you know them, it's good to go through the actual books if they're cool. I will say there was one club who like my management had to like wrestle with him to give me a hotel room and not the condo. And the condo was just a bomb shelter. It was terrible. And he would drive me to radio and just talk about how much he loved TJ because TJ
Miller?
Yes, because TJ just, he doesn't care about money. I'm like, he's in like 9 fucking movies.
Right.
He doesn't care.
He's Yogi Bear, motherfucker.
And like, back, that was like 10 years ago. Back then, he was probably so blown out, wasted. He didn't even know what the figure was. He probably got home and was like, I only made $1,000? What the fuck? And his agent's like, I begged you to look at the contract. You thought I was your mom and you hung up on me. I don't.
Exactly.
I can't stand it.
You can tell TJ, and I don't know your like childhood situation, but I grew up very middle poor, right? Like you can tell like TJ grew up with money because he's just like, I'm getting gold fronts. I just booked a KFC commercial. I'm like, wait, what?
No. Do you remember back in 2007 or something? No, maybe like 5 or 6 when I right around when Kyle and I moved to LA around 2003. And so like a couple of years later, TJ moved to LA, immediately booked a sitcom that went right to series.
Yeah. Carpoolers.
I had Carpoolers. I had one line in one episode. I was just over the moon. I'm like, yay. But I was also like, I'm going to buy, some beer, like something dumb, and save the rest or put the rest on rent because I still have a day job. And like,
right.
He got that. And I think when it was still a pilot, went back to Chicago and rented a bar for the night with open bar. I remember I was in town at the time and I was like, what are you doing? Like, I'm there, Brido's there, fucking CJ Sullivan.
I think that's when I met you. Is that when
Bryce?
I met you? Oh, Pat Bryce.
No, we met. I think we met at what was that that show that Bryce ran forever.
Cherry Level Up or something. That's not the name.
Yes, exactly. It was the Elevated. The Elevated. We met at the Elevated because I remember because you had glasses. I just remember meeting you. At that place because we were like star-crossed friends. I think.
We were
You know what I mean?
StarCrossed fans after that. And then I remember
Without a
reaching
doubt.
out to you when I moved to LA. And I was like, I don't know if you want to be my friend, but I'm moving to LA. You go, we are friends. I was like, great.
Hell yes. Yeah. There's certain people you meet and you're just like, yeah, we're going to be friends a long time. You just have that, you know, that like vibe. Like I can definitely get along with you, you know?
Same.
Just like some people that you meet right away, you're like, you will not be in my life.
No, thank you ever. Yeah. Please don't look at me. I'm going to smile at you, but I need you to know that I try every time we're together.
And it's disheartening how many of those people you meet in Los Angeles, you know, in our line of work.
Yeah.
Where you're just like, oh, nah, no. Yeah, I'll be nice to you.
Yeah.
But
yeah. Name a name. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Gonna be name names.
Let's do it. Yeah. Start shitting on all these people.
No. But when TJ moved here, not to keep talking about him, I moved here the same month and the same year as he did. And he had carpoolers and I went straight to bartending, obviously. And then I booked that Victoria Beckham reality show. And
that's right.
That I just remember that went from an episodic, that went from being supposed to be like a summer series on NBC to being a 1-hour special. But I just remember TJ being so excited for me because we were both like, oh shit, you know, even though mine was way whack, like compared to his.
Well, shit.
Well, the NBC, but that's the point is he was just like so excited for me. And I was just like, you're rich. You must be rich because you just don't care that you have this.
Yes.
The guy, there was a PA who brought my contract to my house, which I already thought was like, whoa, like fancy.
Sure.
And he goes, your life's about to change. Not kidding.
Oh my God.
I was like, okay. And I signed it. And then literally a week later, like, it's going to one episode, one special. And I was like, yeah, you're right. My life is real different.
Mildly. Like the PA comes back to your house. They told me to say this mildly. And he just drives away, rolls the window up, just leaves. It's so, I mean, I love all the stupid experiences we've had post Chicago where like you're giving me all this flood of memories of, because Dwyer got me a job as a PA for this reality television company. And we were just like fetching lunches, but I was also secretly driving off to auditions whenever they'd come. Like the guy who was like my you know, whatever supervisor or whatever was like really cool. Like he would just be like, yeah, go, I'll tell him you're blah, 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 you know, cause it was full on, we're one of the preeminent reality television producers. And so, and you're like, you realize most people think that shit. Outside and inside this town, you recognize that, right? Because that's when all reality was just like, meh.
I know, I was in a show of it,
you know. but you know, fuck it, it's work. But I remember finding out that there were about 3 people who worked in the business who their whole job was, if someone's on a reality show and they're like, they barf or piss themselves or something and they're super wasted, was to go over and sit with them and talk them into signing like a thing that they could show it on TV. Like they would have the release form in like a briefcase and be like, hey, are you feeling okay? Listen, no one's going to tell you this, but this is how George Clooney got his start. Hand to God. He was on a reality show. He shat himself. Did you shit yourself? You did. Okay. You're pretty wasted. Do you understand me?
Yeah.
Like something like that was their whole fucking job. And I was just like, it's like there's levels. Like I'm sure when you took that job, you were kind of like, what am I doing? But it's like, fuck it, it's a job and you're still doing a role and who cares, you know?
Yes. Yeah.
That's real scum. That's real scumbag shit. That's real, like, let me talk this girl onto the bus for a Girls Gone Wild thing. You know?
100%. Yeah. I mean, honestly, like when I did this reality show with Victoria Beckham, Jen Kirkman and I were both at the callback at the same time. So they were looking for a comedian with like, we both kind of had accents that weren't LA. And I think that's why we were both there, because they were like, where are you from? And I'm like, you're trying to cast an ugly Betty. Is that what's happening? Like, That's what they were doing, and I was down. And I just remember them being like,
My God.
them flying. I flew home. I did the audition. Jen and I were making fun of it. I did the audition. I flew home to Chicago to see my family. And right when I landed, they were like, Victoria Beckham wants to meet you. So I had to fly back home.
Oh.
And back to LA. And she literally didn't look at me the entire time. She told me she thought I looked like I couldn't be a slut. And I got hired.
Renee, look, I know you've talked about this a little on stage, right?
A little.
Are you allowed to? A little. Oh my God.
And now I am.
This is so much gold. You have to. Holy fuck. Because she's one of those people who is just internationally blown out famous, especially because who she's married to and stuff. Because it's just, I love shit like that because that's not necessarily shitting on her, but it is some shade, which she deserves. What a strange thing to say to another human being. Like, I mean, there's so many layers to that.
Yeah.
Where it's like, you know, I'm going to give you a compliment, or is it? Sure, you could be. I could look at you, but it's like, I wouldn't use that fucking term anyway. But it pigeonholes you and non-pigeonholes you at the same time. That's so weird. That's so fucking weird.
I can be a hoe, honey. What if that's what I said to her? Oh, I'll be a hoe. I think she said it because David had just had a scandal with their assistant.
Oh.
And she was like, I need an Uggo and I need her fast. And it's not that I'm ugly, but like, it wasn't that. I know she didn't think that. Checking in on the beer.
Thanks, honey. I got one. It's my sweet wife. See, neighbors? I do this with her permission. Sorry, but
no. Every time we cut camera, she said, you know, you're not fat, right? You know, you're not ugly. Like, she was a cool person.
Okay, that's good. But
I was fat.
I'm going to say something terrible to you right now.
Okay.
Because we're friends.
Okay.
If you were to just be an absolute asshole and just be on that set and be like, cut. And you're like, can I ask you something? What's his dick taste like?
No.
Just something so insane. And then it's like, and action. And she's like, no, stop. And you're like, if you were like, I want out of this job, you just do something like that, you know?
Yes.
Or just something like his body is amazing. Is it amazing? Right. Does it feel amazing? You know, like. Exactly.
How does that stomach feel up against does it crunch every time he is on you? The thing is that I was so green, and that was my first, like, I moved here and then I got that job, and that was a pretty big deal at the time.
Oh yeah.
I was afraid every day they were going to give me I was driving my 3-door Saturn to Mulholland Drive, and every day I was waiting for them to go, we don't need you.
Of course. It took me probably 4 years of working with like TV directors to stop going, am I terrible? Is that why? Is that why they never give me compliments? And you realize they don't give you fucking compliments. Like that one or two, you know, people who do, those people are just really nice. Most of them are they're tired as shit because they're working, 30-hour days. And like, the only reason they talk to you is if you're doing something wrong or they want you to do something different. That's it. If they don't talk to you, you're killing it. You are a perfect piece of the machine. Just move on.
Yeah. It's hard, especially as a comic. You're like, hi, can I just get a taste of a compliment? Just a nibble.
Ted Alexandro, who is so funny, tweeted the best, and maybe top 10 tweets of the year of anyone. It was just like, every comedian is a conspiracy theorist because every comedian thinks they should be doing better than they are. Yeah. And I'm just like, that's every, you know what really is going on though? This. And you're like, you don't know anything. And they're like, reason I have not got a Netflix special is, oh God, here we go.
Yeah. There's several comics who unleash on social media about like their disservice, the disservice the community is giving them as a talent. And you just want to go, you sound insane.
A community they contribute dick to.
Yes.
Nothing. No. I mean, absolutely not. Like fucking, yeah. I mean, and I I did the Bridgetown Fest for 10 years. And all I really did was watch a little bit of tape and ask famous people to do it. That's all that's why I didn't get any money from it either. I just thought because I wanted to do it every year. I wanted to do it for fun. But like the amount of shade that Andy certainly got, way more than me. I didn't really hear a lot about it, but from because we had an allotment of straight white dudes, of me's, of this. We were only this many, just like, well, I'm just saying it was just because we only just didn't want it to be the fucking, it's in Portland, one of the whitest fucking places of all time. So like, it's just that thing. And we got so much, there's, I'm sure people today who are like, I didn't get in because of, my color, which is racist. And you're like, well, maybe do a different fest that we don't even fucking pay, man. I don't know what to tell you.
Do it different. I remember when Bridgetown started and there was the first couple of times I didn't even try to get in just because I didn't even broach the subject because I knew I wasn't going to be available. And then after a while, I just kept forgetting. And then you guys ended it. And I was like, oh shit, I've never done that festival. What's wrong with me? Like everyone has so much fun. Look how many friends are made. And I haven't done it.
I know, I get
it's
why
all my fault.
It's that, yes. But also, it was summer camp. It was summer camp for adults, without a doubt. It was alcoholic party summer camp. Totally. Yeah. So I get why people wanted to go. My favorite of all time was Joe DeRosa, who I love.
Yeah.
Who at a party, like something like a week from Bridgetown, was like, oh, wait, you do that fest? And like, yeah. He's like, am I doing it this year? I'm like, what? Did you fucking submit or ask? Yeah. No. I don't know, man. Let me do it. It's like, dude, we've had the lineup for like 4 months. What are you fucking, it was just so, and he didn't really expect, but he was just like, oh, come on. Like, I kind of love that about Joe, that he's just like casual scumbag that way. And like, in a friendly way. I love the fact that he went to, when his special came out, he went to, I don't think he'd care that I said this, that I found this out. I think Vince told me. Georgia's husband, he went to my favorite murder girls, Georgia and I'm blanking on her name.
Karen Kilgariff.
Of course. Karen Kilgariff, one of the funniest writers of all time and performers. Anyway, he went to them and was just like, let me be on the show to promote my special. Like, not like, hey, can I come on? And they're like, Joe, we've never had a guest. He's like, then have one. It was like, I love the fact that he just went full dude stumbling into your house with no shirt on and was mad at you because you don't have his favorite beer in the fridge. Yeah. You just have some shit. You have some a wine spritzer or something. He's mad. He's drinking. But he's mad.
Everything is a disservice to him in a really likable way. Like everything's like, oh, and you're like, what happened? And you're like, I don't know. I just wanted you to go to the mall with me. I was like, what is happening?
What? And you could drive so I could drink. What? No.
And he listens to death metal in the car, by the way.
No. And screams along to it. And then he's hoarse at the mall and he's mad at you because his voice is hoarse.
Oh, it's just like that. That's all I hear when he gets like disappointed. And I do love Joe, but he always goes, no. Like this. Maybe it's the 2 sips of beer I've had or 3. But like, I think that's the funniest fucking idea. And I think like, we should write that sketch and cast Joe to do that. It's his.
Just going through, I remember Dwyer and Michael Connell did a sketch that was based on actual neighbors Dwyer grew up with, who his neighborhood, this couple would come over drunk to his parents' house and be like, we thought we'd just stop by. Got anything to drink? Like they were out of alcohol. And so they just stopped by to get drinks from people. They're like going house to house, like rather than buy more liquor. They were just like middle of the day.
Can I borrow a couple of liquor? Schnapps, anything will do.
What?
Midori.
I'm easy. Whatever.
I'll take whatever you're not using.
Do you have a pint glass?
Just the visual of someone leaving someone's house with a pint of Kahlua Because I feel like growing up, we always had a bottle of Kahlua, but no other liquor.
Always. And no one touched it. Why is it there? Why?
Yeah. Who brought this? And it was always a little crusty because it was opened once, used once, and then we never tended to it. We weren't professionals. I didn't know how to store Kahlua. I was 9.
No. I still to this day don't know if you should refrigerate it. I don't think so. I think it's just coffee flavored liqueur, but
it's coffee flavored. Is that what that is?
Yes, it's coffee flavored. I'm laughing because there have been teenagers who will just walk in twos and just one will have like a speaker on their hip and it just trap music just blaring for the two of them. There were 2 girls before and there are 2 boys just now. And Kara pointed out, she's like, that's something teenagers do now? And I'm like, fuck would I know, but yes,
I love that they're like carrying music on their hip just in case they run into someone.
Yeah, they don't, because you can't have the conversation where you both have the headphones on, even if you sync the songs.
True.
Now I want like a local politician to be like, I know this community. I'll come to your home. I'll drink your old Kahlua when no one else will. Bob Davidson, a voice for change, like something like that. Like he's like in the kitchen with like choking it down. They're nodding. Thank you.
Surrounded
they're like having
by Kahlua.
nice chilled wine. They're drinking the good stuff. He's drinking warm Kahlua out of a coffee mug.
It's so dumb.
It's so stupid. Okay. Should we bring on our special guest?
Please.
Let's bring him on. Before we do, Jake sent me let's see, some donors. So let me check this out real quick. Okay. Renee, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Great. Because I can't see anything but donors. But
holy
fucking
great.
Shit. We've got a ton of donors. I'm just going to read the ones above $10 and over. If you donated less, God bless you. I appreciate you. The Bubba Master, $10, says comedy forever. Right on. Farting Preacher. Awesome. Oh, wait, we are going. Okay, so above $5. I'm stupid. Farting Preacher, $5. Arthur Miller. Nice. It's like a heart, but Arthur Miller. $5. Sassy Mini-Me, $20. Annie Harrington. What up, Annie? $10. Zip the Chim, $20. Lindsay Welch. Hi, Lindsay. $25. Snip Kicker, $20. Anxious Pangolin, $10. Swayze Meteor, still my favorite name, $25. He fucking misspelled it wrong. It was B. Arthur Miller. I thought it was like a Harther Miller. That's Jake's fuck up, but Jake does all the work, so Jake can fuck up. No Coin, $25. Brandy 723, $25. And we have new patrons: Trevor Stanley, Turd Ferguson, Logan Alexander, Brandy T, Philip Sharp, Suzanne Burgard, and Ian Heckers. Thanks, guys, so much for helping out. I appreciate it. Okay.
That's amazing. I wish I had that creativity.
Shit, yeah.
With a handle.
I mean, yeah, comedians are dumb. We can comment on life and tell stories about our families, but, regular people write hilarious, silly names. That's what I feel. So introduce our guest as he was your suggestion, and he's an old friend of mine. I love the guy. So
why do you love him? I'm just kidding.
Because he's always, I will answer that question, because he's always like, he's hilarious. He's really easy to get along with. He's like you, one of those people I met and I'm like, we're going to be friends. We're definitely gonna be friends. And he's like got just an amazing attitude. He's never, I'm so sick of people who just fuck up your energy by being exhausting. He is not that guy. So
I agree with that. He's also done so many good things and he never lets you know about it. Mm-hmm. That's my intro of him. Like I'd be like, oh, that was a great set. And he'd be like, meh. You'll just like walk away and you're like, no, you had a standing ovation. He's like, you got to work on some stuff. Like,
they don't know how bad I was. What?
Yeah. Like, what? He just reminds me of like, because I grew up so Italian. He almost reminds me of like someone who has that like moralistic value and work ethic, like my grandfather.
Oh yes, sure.
He's like, I'm going to do this right, and I don't need to brag about it. It could go away. Like, it's like that kind of vibe.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I agree. He's really, really funny. Let's bring him on.
Please welcome Rojo Perez.
Hey guys.
Hey girl.
Hey girl. How you guys doing? Everybody all right? This is
Yeah, man. How are you feeling? You're back in New York. You were gone, right?
Ooh, yeah, I am back in you know when you think you missed something and then you get it, you're like, I didn't need this. Yeah. I was doing fun without it. No, it's nice to be back. It's pretty good out. This was a fun first half. I really enjoyed listening to you two.
Yeah, I think I might have to get rid of Kyle, man. Like, he's funny and all.
A lot of dead weight.
Renee and I just rapped. It was great. It was great. So
Matt,
fun.
I love the idea that your in-laws are peeking through that window and be like, this is his job? No. They pay him?
Without a doubt.
She married this one. Okay, well.
Yeah, and I'm like, no, people are paying a charity. Hey, like the window slams. You're like, he's not even making any money then. Great.
Yeah.
Where were you before? Where'd you go?
I was in Puerto Rico for a couple months. So I was seeing family there, doing all that stuff. Then I went to do some shows in Dallas.
Okay.
Which, God bless Texas. I mean,
that's what we always say about Texas.
Now, is that like the Southern bless your heart?
But bless your heart, very much so.
Which is the go fuck yourself of the South?
It was like the shows were fine. The club was great. I felt safe there, but like just being the rest of Dallas was like, we use a phrase that goes, if you didn't want to die, you shouldn't have been born. And that's how Dallas is living these 6 months.
Holy shit.
Just loud. Ask. It's overrated. I put hope through it.
But let me go back to that saying. Is that like a Puerto Rican outlaws statement or what?
Yeah, kind. It's like it's an old reggaeton saying.
Okay.
It was a very 16-year-old kids who live at their parents' house. They're like, man, if you didn't want to die, should have been born.
Shit. I don't even. Yeah, those kids who have two warm beers and go, I don't even care, man. I don't even care. Dude, no, you don't even know me. I will shoot up a Starbucks. Like, just shut up. You know, you lost at Call of Duty, Jake. Cut it out.
You got sweaty hands. We all know this, Jake. There's no way you're gonna hold that. Ah!
Yes, you've had a little liquid courage. Relax. Yeah, so basically, no one in Dallas is wearing masks at all. Anyway.
Man, people would have it, but they have it like we have an extra Metro card. You're like, I got the shit just in case. I got it in case someone needs one, but I'm not actively using it.
Yeah, I don't believe in such things, but I'll wear one around you to make you feel okay.
Right, but they never cover their nose.
It covers everything else but the nose and the mouth. So it's just wide.
My favorite was the video that guy took of a woman working behind the counter at like a pharmacy or something, like stocking things, and she just had a hole cut for her mouth. And the guy's like, oh, you got a hole in your mask. And she's like, yeah, I can breathe better this way. So, but ma'am.
It was about
vagina mouth.
Old vagina.
Old vagina mouth.
We got to acknowledge old vagina mouth. You can't let that just pass.
Oh, finally. I never feel like I'm always the last to know. I never got that, why they called her. I never met her with a mask on.
Classic.
I've just seen her parties.
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead, Rojo. What were you going to say?
No, I was going to say, I think the other weird thing in Puerto Rico, people use it like an ID. where it's like to get into the restaurant, it's on. And then as soon as they walk, woo, fuck it, we're all good, right? If we're in here, ain't nobody able to get it. That's how
I love the fact in America how people, I'm sure other people do this around the world. If there's an ordinance that's like, okay, we're going to open the restaurants. It's like, they're open. Like they throw away their mask. They're just like, no, but the city said it's fine. So it's like, you never trust the government, but now you trust.
Yeah.
Now you're quoting them? No, at minute 19. Minute 19.
The ordinance states. Sorry.
No. Well, I was just going to say, when I landed in Chicago, as much of like, Chicago's obviously a good city, and they're doing well with COVID right now. They're doing pretty good because a lot is still open. Like their malls are still open, which don't tell Renee Gaudier that because she will go. But everyone, I'm putting a mask on to walk my dog, and literally, it's like my sister looked at me. She goes, "What the fuck are you doing?" And I go, "What?" She goes, "You don't need a mask. You're outside." And I was like, "Yeah, but there's droplets to be had here." I'm like I have a lot of juice in my mouth when I talk. I'm trying to be nice. I'm a droplet all over people. Like she was like, "No, you don't have to do that. Like you do it when you go inside somewhere." And I was like, "Okay, miss, sorry." Like,
I will say I do kind of agree with your sister too. Because when you're outside, look, not that Fire Island sea of men, that picture that was just like Happy 4th, and they're just like naked, like chest to chest and stuff, and like no one has a mask on, and it's just
dicks out,
just dicks out, just hot body man steam just coming off them, just sweating on each other, and it's like, no, you're outside, but no, you got to wear a mask, and you're. Like there's got to be some kind of fire ordinance equivalent or something. Cause
they were inside while they were outside, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
What it felt like. Yeah. That's what it felt like, that photo.
Yeah.
Man, if this were a case where I were running for office, I'd try to go find those dudes from Fire Island who didn't get sick. And I'd be like, look, these guys are great. The odds are you'll be fine.
Yeah, it's pretty much like the GOP looking for like black Trump supporters. Like you're just like when they find this guy that's just like a gun owner and stuff, and God bless him, stuff, but just like and just like see, look, see, a politician that wants to like open up the restaurants. He's like, this guy has eaten at McDonald's maskless 7 times, does not have any diseases, no coughing, nothing. Like he could be non-symptomatic. Shut up. Like
probably because his insides are rotten from McDonald's. We could care less what you're trying to pick up.
His immune system is just beyond because of just constant McDonald bombarding.
I swear to God, I thought you said no coffin, like a coffin that he's died, like we bury him in. And I was like, that's the best way to be like, no coffin for you, healthy. That's how I took it.
Yeah, you're not dying like some sucker. That's the thing I love when it's just somehow being wearing a mask is like you're less than a man. It's just like I'm not a sissy. I will get a disease. I don't care.
Man,
if you didn't want to die, you shouldn't have been born. Shouldn't have been born.
Yeah.
Oh, people. How were airplanes, Rojo? How were the airplanes when you were on?
Good question.
I think it's the safest I've felt.
Same.
I think airlines have too much money to lose. So this shit is like brand new. Like it is, they're wiping everything down. They're handing like people like little PPEs. Like it's great. I mean, you get through TSA in 2 minutes because they're not trying to check.
Yeah, whatever.
They're not out here risking it. They're just giving it like a solid go through.
Without a doubt. Well, I know that that Delta and Southwest they're refreshing the air every 2 minutes.
Really?
So I'm just like, that's dope. Yeah, because
like
I'm a Delta
air
guy.
filter.
So yeah, exactly. So that's amazing. I mean, almost makes me wish I hadn't driven 3,000 miles to be here.
But yours is different.
Yeah.
You're not going to throw the baby under the
No, yeah.
And you gotta have the baby.
No, look, if I was like touring or something, I'd be like, fuck it. I'll wear a mask and with that clear gambling visor, whatever that thing is. So that space age welding mask. I don't know what it is.
I feel very flash hands.
Brooklyn welding mask.
If I was just like work boots, yeah, on a white Brooklyn guy who's in his 20s who moved there, yeah, from Connecticut. Like the work boots will see no work. That welding mask will never weld. Yeah, I would do it. But yeah, if I got a 7-week-old, I'm not going to be like, let's chance it. Let's see what happens.
Let's see what kind of immune system this one came out with. Let's see what she can. Life's going to be tough, Rose. You get ready, girl.
Rose, look at me. If you didn't want to die, you shouldn't have been born.
Exactly. What's so funny is every time someone has those plastic shields on, I'm just like, all I can think of is the movie Flashdance.
Oh.
She was a welder, a hot welder.
Yeah.
And I just wish people embraced it a little bit more. Like that guy with the radio on his hip. I wish he had like a mask. It was like Maniac cues up and he just goes for it.
Maniac is still such a great song.
The intro alone.
Nina. Like song is it's just I love the synth-driven urgency of 80s soundtrack songs. It's just there's no irony. It's just like every song from Rocky, they're all just like, if I don't win, I'll die. Like every movie about dancing or wrestling, it's just take it to the top or you're nothing.
You're the best around, Karate Kid.
No one's gonna ever keep you down.
No one.
So good.
There's a great song in Karate Kid that I looked up the lyrics just because I needed to know what they were saying, and it's the Elizabeth Shue first date moment at the putt and stuff. Is that what it was called? And it's Young Hearts Beat Fast. Oh. And the lyric is Young Hearts Beat Fast, driving down the road, rubber, plastic, metal, glass. That's the lyric. What? We need music like that again, about product, about
I just think so many of those soundtracks, it's just whoever was like in charge was just like, yeah, your cousin? What? Fuck it. Give me a song. You know, like they need a couple of hits.
Give me a song.
Just get fucking. I gotta go, man. I gotta go. What even is a soundtrack supervisor? I don't even. My brother fucking wrote this movie. I don't know. About some kid that kicks people. Some shit. I don't know.
It's a kid doing karate. Go.
Go. Miami Vice. Literally, the show Miami Vice was literally sold. Two guys in a meeting, like at a bar, and one guy wrote MTV Cops on a bar napkin and slid it to him. That's the story. Really? Supposedly. He was like, he was already a guy, like a big producer, but he was like, this is the idea. On a napkin.
You hear sometimes about people go, what's the elevator pitch? And I go, there's no way this shit works. It works. This worked with no elevator.
Dude, if it's
all clicks.
If someone can get exactly what the show is in like a couple words, it will probably be a hit. Probably. You know, something you can wrap your head around. Oh, yeah, I know what that is. You know, like, I get it. Though MTV Cops, I don't know what the fuck. Like, so there's Madonna and Billy Ocean, and they solve crimes.
Billy Ocean.
I bet we could go in right now, same MTV Cops, and sell this again. With no context. I bet us three could sell this idea again.
There'd be one guy who's like 32 who'd be like, so like TRL Live. And you're like, no. And then so
I go, yes.
Yes. There'd be someone else with a totally different conditioned idea of what MTV is. Yeah. A guy my age would mention music videos and they're like, what the fuck is a music video? What are you talking about?
And then I go, you haven't seen WAP? Is
WAP.
It WAP or WAP?
Oh, I love
definitely
it.
Not.
Oh, I want.
I Chicago'd it.
Rough guesstimate, at least 250,000 moms have said that WAP song. I don't know.
What is WAP? I used to always think that and Magic Mike always makes me think of Midwestern moms. So like, have you seen Magic Michael? You're just like, yeah, a bunch of us went to go see Magic Michael extra large.
It's Magic Michael or Magical Mike.
Magical Mike.
He's magical. The way he dances. I don't know. I love Channing Tatum. I think he seems like a great guy.
That's a recent divorcee. If you go Magical Mike, that's a recent divorcee. Definitely.
Yeah. Oh, they're all single moms, Ro. They're all single moms.
Your husband or baby daddy was not magical.
No magic there.
Everyday Steve.
Regular Ron.
Non-magical Norman.
Norman.
Why is he non-something? Can we describe him for something he is rather than what he's not?
Never on time Norman. Now we're just getting reckless. Now we're just being bullies.
Never on time Norman could be fun, though. We don't know why he's late.
Yeah, he's always sweating a little bit when he arrives. He's always behind and stressed. Norman's a good guy.
Yeah, he is a good guy.
I don't want to shit on Norman anymore.
I went to this a yacht rock review where they had a couple of the actual like singers or bands from like yacht rock music, and they had the guy who sang "Brandy, You're a Fine Girl" from Looking Glass and wrote it. And I got my friend Dave Lyons, who coined the phrase yacht rock, who was there, to ask him if him and JD, they made it up.
Okay.
Yeah, never copyrighted it, dummies.
Sounds about right for somebody who came up with that.
Nope. But so he asked the guy if that song, on my request, asked the guy if the song was actually about like a woman who works in a gay bar, and she doesn't, they're just like, what a good wife you would be, but my love and my lady is the sea. So they're just looking at each other like, doesn't she get it? Like, Jesus Christ, why does she work here? Can you hire a hot boy?
I didn't even know that's what it was about.
It's not. The guy was like, no.
Oh.
I love this idea of ending every interview. Can you hire a hot boy? Can we just get a hot boy for once?
We should, Rojo, every bar we get to, we should, not to throw shade on if there's a male bartender, but if there's like a female one, be like, hi, can you guys hire a hot boy?
Hot boy? No hot boy? I'll wait for the hot boy.
We're not even gay. We just like hot boys.
Well, hot boys are better bartenders.
Let's be honest.
I can't imagine a man looking at me and telling me that you'd be an amazing wife, but I gotta hit the sea, baby. Like, my mistress is the water. And then I'd have to be like, okay, will I ever get married? Everybody keeps leaving me for the ocean.
Well, it's such a lame excuse. Like, no sailor is like, I don't like human companionship. I like the ocean.
Yeah.
Renee's like, I've lost one to a river, to an ocean. There was an jacuzzi at the Holiday Inn.
A canal.
Oh, that's every guy's excuse. Ugh, I'm more of a water guy. I just
drop-lidded all over myself because that was very funny.
Well, it's good we're not wearing masks, so we're fine. I realize I'm
not real.
It's like
you look like
dusk.
We're about to lose you.
It's like fully dusk here, where I'm just like, look, I don't know if I'm going to make it. They're going to find me. Yeah. Just guys, take care of each other, because these Trump supporters, they are hunting us down.
Matt, I need you to Blair Witch it and give us a little snot for the close on this.
Oh, like run.
Man.
So scared.
This whole interview was lost footage of Matt Braunger. This wasn't even you live. This was all.
He's so sad if this was the
last
the last footage of me. People are just like, I thought that guy was supposed to be funny. What happened?
You great. That closer was great.
That closer was commitment.
Up the nose. That's a quality pull right there.
He was dripping snot at the end. Yeah.
So good.
So, before we go, Renee, what? Tell us like a little bit about the charity. If you can.
It's called. I think I can. It's called A Place Called Home. It's for families who have been seriously affected by the pandemic and everything that's been going on. And they do home grocery delivery. They bring school supplies. So they supply, unfortunate incomed homes. I don't know how to say it without making it seem sadder, but to just getting by during this time and just helping kids who maybe their parents go to work and they're alone. So they're just really lending a hand to the whole community of South Central. So it's actually really good.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And so if you're watching this and you're a Hey Girl fan, please donate, because we will mention your donations by name next show. Kyle and I are pre-recording all this month because our schedules are bananas. Kyle's especially. Rojo, is there anything you want to plug, man?
Yeah. You can follow me on Rojo Perez with all 3 Z's on all the socials. I'm in New York. This comes out Friday. I'm doing a rooftop show tomorrow, apparently.
Woo! All right.
But I can't say where, so you have to DM me so I can tell you where, because I think it's illegal.
Oh shit! Look at you, comedy outlaw.
Here first.
Real New York.
Real New York.
You're gonna have a lot of mouth vaginas there. I can feel it.
Look, if you weren't in New York, you shouldn't have been born.
Thank you, baby. I feel like Matt got a new tattoo.
Yeah.
I mixed it all up. If you weren't going to mouth vagina, you shouldn't have been born. That's what I say. What? What the fuck? What does that tattoo mean? Get out of this, Arby's.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I am full dark, it looks like, almost. So looks like we're at the end of our time. Renee, I love you. Thank you for coming on and co-hosting for Kyle. Rojo, I love you too. Thank you guys for coming on. And thanks for everybody listening and watching and donating. Really appreciate you guys. And be sure to Hey Girl at somebody out there who needs some human contact. Much appreciated. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Matt. Do we hang up on each other?